Okay, let's do it.
Okay, we can start then.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Oh, Armenia. Okay, we have someone from Armenia.
Now we can start our webinar. I'm Sergey. I'm Chief Editor of website Refrigeration industry. I'm glad to introduce my colleague Vanessa. Vanessa will be the host of our webinar. I'm happy to welcome her.
Thank you very much, Sergey. I'm very happy to be here. I will be hosting today's webinar and helping our great speaker with everything. So I give the word to Sergey to start the official start.
Thank you, Vanessa. Hello, everyone again. Many companies search how to promote the product brand better. So I invite you to our website, refrigeration.com. You can find there marketing news and events, market research and tenders. And like first step, I invite you to join to the global refrigeration directory. You can find the link in our Zoom chat. Please join and join on our webinar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to introduce our super speaker and mega expert in the digital marketing. Vanessa, please help me introduce her.
I would be glad to do that. So I welcome everyone again on our webinar, and I would like to introduce our super guest today. It will be Karina Avanesova, the Vice President of Growth in Andava Digital Marketing Agency.
Hey everyone, I'm very excited to be here. Thank you, Sergey and Vanessa, for having me over, and I'm very glad to be able to share my knowledge and tips with all of you today here. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time too. We will be really glad to hear about your experience here. And I want to tell everyone that you are very welcome to be active because we have very valuable bonuses for those who are going to be active. So Karina promised to provide a customized website review to everyone who is interested in this. So stay till the end of the webinar to find out how to get this. And that's not all. We have a bigger prize. So it's a free one-on-one consultation with Karina. And this will be for the most active participant or for the most interesting question. So you are very welcome to ask your questions during the presentation.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for the details. And I guess we can start the webinar and the presentation itself already, if no one has any issues with the connection. So as you probably already know, we are going to talk about how to build a reputation for HVACR business from ground up in digital, using all the major channels, but being conscious about the spends and strategies that we use. First, as Vanessa already mentioned, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Karina, and I'm a digital marketing expert with about 7 years of professional expertise in the field. I would be happy to learn more about you, so feel free to drop your name, company, and occupation in the chat below, or raise your hands, and Vanessa will kindly assist you to present yourself with voice, if I'm getting things right. We can wait for a couple of moments.
Yeah, we can organize that if anyone wants that. So we would like to know more about you.
Yep. Just your name, occupation, company, anything interesting and fun about you. Like I can start. My name is Karina. I am from Armenia, and I'm about to start my vacation. So let's see what other...
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great start for today.
Yeah, let's see what other remarkable participants we have.
I'm sorry if I don't read this correctly. So Luca Martella, clever activity at HVAC Selection Software Developer Company. That's the first answer we've got. Thanks for sharing.
Very nice to meet you.
Our audience is rather silent today.
Okay.
Please don't hesitate.
Probably we can go forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not in a silent mood today, so
Yeah.
I will
Okay,
cover
great.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I want to start with is, can everyone just think of the way we have came across, or you have came across your favorite dentist or barber or business partner? Try to get your answers in the chat, probably, so that we could go over them and we could structurize them in the common best practices way, but try to answer yourself. What was the chain of communication or of steps that you have handled as a person and you have managed to come up with your perfect dentist or perfect barber or the most reliable partner? So try to answer yourself, what did you do to come across them? And then how did you manage to trust them? What made you think they are reliable?
Can I go first?
Yes, of course.
So do you mean like how I got to know these people and why I decided to actually like ask them to get their services?
Yep.
Well, I think everyone I know who actually I go to or who provides good services, I either ask my friends, actually not either, I think I always ask my friends, and if they know that person, they just give me a social media network like Instagram page or website, and I check on, and then I just write the person and see if he's great or not, and that's all.
Okay, that's pretty much within the system and within the cycle of communication. Let's see if we have some other like volunteers to share their experience, and then if not, I will proceed to the typical steps.
We have no answers yet.
Okay.
Someone is writing that they're from Denmark. Either word of mouth, networking in the internet.
Yep, that's very remarkable and very common. So let's just mark this and we'll get back to this a little later. Other options?
I can't see any yet in the chat. This was the only one.
Okay, let's move forward. So here we have, oh, we have someone else sharing.
Someone says Google.
Yep, that's also pretty much within the best practices. So summing up the things that you have mentioned, Vanessa, and that the audience generously shared with us, and the whole research practices, mostly people come across the businesses for the first time through the word of mouth and referrals. That is basically your friends or family suggesting you to go to someone to get your problem solved. Second point is some sort of advertising, anything that is not digital, but is TV, radio, or outdoor advertising. Then we have events, trade shows, and conferences, which is very, very common for B2B markets and for B2B and even to B businesses. We then have digital ads that function well for top of funnel advertising and direct to customer or D2C advertising. And then people just Google their problems and what they are interested in, come across businesses and decide whether to proceed with that exact business or to proceed with another one. After all these steps and after coming across the businesses by these means, every single person checks the business's digital reputation and digital presence. Let's take an example. I'm sitting right now in my office and I have a window, and out of that window I can see an outdoor advertising banner, and there I can see something is written there, a business name. What I typically do and what most of users do, no matter how we came across the business for the first time, so with the referral or TV ad or outdoor advertising, the first thing we do is that we take our phones and we Google their business name, or we do the same within the Facebook or Instagram, or if that's for services, we do that on Yelp, for example. So that's pretty much wraps the whole thing. Summing up, no matter how users learn about you, they will definitely check your digital presence, your digital channels, and you as a business owner definitely want to have the perfect first impression, because you never have the second chance for the first impression. So that's pretty much it here, wrapping things and summing things up. What we specifically will discuss today is that businesses in digital market usually and most commonly use these 4 channels for marketing their B2B businesses or B2C businesses. But since we are talking about HVACR businesses today, I'll be having some analogies between residential services and between commercial, so that both parties could benefit from this webinar. While the communication channels are not different and they not vary from business to business, from business type to business type, the strategies implemented there are very, very much different and complex based on the goals and the service type you provide. We'll dive deep into this later today. Just remember, the channels are pretty much the same. That it's all about the strategy and the approach that differentiates and that benefits different businesses from each other. So we basically have search marketing, aka the SEO, we have paid advertising, or same as the PPC advertising, we have social media, we have reviews and feedback, which is a little like complex, and it involves a lot of things, not only the reviews, but also the emails and working with the communications and such. So let's move forward and try to imagine a perfect acquisition funnel for some sort of business. Here we have top of funnel, which you can see is titled as drive traffic. We have more middle of the funnel, which is the part where you engage with the audience. And then we have convert, when the businesses convert their prospects and their leads into customers and paying users. For top of the funnel, you can see that neither on top of the funnel nor on the engagement part, the channels are pretty much the same. That's all about the campaign types. So we drive traffic with ads and SEO. We then retarget and engage users with retargeting and email marketing and content marketing. For B2B part, the engagement funnel, the engagement part of the funnel is much more crucial, because users there are pretty much aware of their needs for top of the funnel, and they are ready to convert with those who provide valuable information and who are professional enough to get in touch and to get engaged. And for the final step here, we have the conversion, which is where you as a business actually step up and start working with your prospects directly, start doing your sales and managing your processes. So this is the funnel, which really approaches to the general marketing. There is no such type of thing like this is not only applicable for one channel. This is applicable for the whole marketing. And this is the mindset or the thing we have to keep in mind while designing our digital marketing strategies and campaigns. Here we have some things that we need to understand here to be able to come up with the most complex and the most inclusive digital marketing strategy and reputation building strategy. First thing is that we really need to understand what is our buyer's journey. What is buyer's journey by like very basic example? Let's say I'm throwing a party tomorrow, since that's going to be a Friday night here, and I'm looking for a food supplier or contractor who will be able to satisfy all my needs in terms of quality and quantity. So for the awareness stage of my own research, I will be not aware of who am I wanting to work with or what are the qualifiers of that business that I'm looking for. I just know that I need a reliable catering supplier, for example. So that's top of the funnel, and that's awareness stage of my journey as a buyer. For the next step, whenever I know the number of people who's going to be attending that party, whenever I know what are their food allergies probably, whenever I know what are their other preferences, then I'm able to narrow down my search and my research to have that specific amount of people mentioned and kind of managed within my research, within my scope of activities. And after that, whenever I have some more clear understanding on what am I looking for, I can go down to the decision stage and make and decide who is that supplier that I want to proceed with. So if on the first stage, in the awareness stage, I knew nothing about those businesses who are able to satisfy my needs, in the decision stage, thanks to my own research, I'm able to choose the most reliable supplier for my needs. Speaking for B2C services, because I'm a customer, I need that for my own. If I was to throw a party at our office for all of our employees, I would definitely consider the B2B services who would be able to proceed their financial and accounting with B2B kind of management and all those paperwork that I need for my office to be taken care of. And that's a whole different journey. So here, whether you work with residential or commercial part, you have to have that understanding on what are your buyers' journey and what steps are they going through in order to come up and land with your business and convert with you and not anyone else. And the second part that is very crucial here is that you really need to understand your buyer persona to be able to come up with their journey. You need to have that educated assumptions-based persona profiling where you will have listed all the identifiers, all the pain points, and all the points that make sense for you as a business owner to make educated decisions. Let's take an example for instance, assuming I am a buyer persona for some type of B2C catering offering company, if their buyer persona hangs on Pinterest or is ready to consume such form of information through Pinterest, they probably do not have to waste their money on LinkedIn advertising. But what they have to do instead is to retarget me on LinkedIn with their ads, which is a little complex thing, and we'll get back to this later. So for now, let's just sum up and remember, we have buyer's journey, which is basically the steps and the mindset that someone's going through to come up and land with your business. And we have the buyer persona, which is assumption-based, one person description, where you have all your main information listed and which you are going to use as a base for the whole digital marketing mix and the whole communication for your marketing and reputation. If we happen to have questions about buyer's journey and buyer persona, about their differences, please feel free to drop a message in chat.
Please remember, we will award the most active people.
We have one message in chat here. Okay, we have another.
Maybe everything is clear.
I hope.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
hope everything is clear for everyone.
So, starting with the SEO part, have you ever noticed that what is SEO? Basically, oh, we have something in chat. Can you, Vanessa, look if that's a question?
It isn't a question. Somebody is just saying that it's a great speech.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move forward. And first, assuming we have that general and basic understanding of SEO as the process when we type in something and then we get our results back in front of us. So that's the basic definition of the SEO. What matters here is that using your buyer's persona and your buyer's journey, you as a business have to come up with your keywords, with your buyer persona's keywords to understand what are the words, what are the keywords they use to come across your business and businesses similar to you, to further consider them as a partner or as a contractor. What is important here, once again, comparing the residential and commercial part of businesses, we can have a look here, and here I have example of Career.com, which is air humidifiers, dehumidifiers, and so I just took this example from the internet. Let's take a look on their residential part. Can you see how they have the landing pages in Get Started part cleared with the clear messaging, and they have, if you see here, what are the pages under the tab there? We have let us help identify your perfect system, find a local career expert you can trust, explore HVAC systems. So these are basically those pages that they consider valuable for their buyer persona, and that they want to work and they want to communicate their buyer personas and their target audience. They want to work with these pain points and these values to make sure their buyer persona gets the most out of their website, and they've done everything they could to convert these users into further customers. So what they did here is that they researched their own website, their own current users, the users of their competitors probably, and they came with the idea of that their users, to get started with them, they have a fear of how can they identify the perfect system for them. They have interest in how they can find a local career expert for their trust, like branded the expert that is career verified, some sort of something. And then they have articles on how to use the best products, or how to learn basics. So they've done their part of research, came up with those topics and values and interests that are important for their buyer persona for this part. And then they try to highlight those and work with them on their website, just to make sure they have provided their buyer persona with the best experience possible. So just try to some sort of remember this part of the residential page here, and how menu looks and how pages look, because right now we're going to the commercial part, which is completely different from whatever we are seeing right now here. Okay, so first thing to notice here is that, do you see how different the menus are? So the commercial part and the residential part. So residential part is much more commercial, much more like pleasant to your eyes and much more easier to navigate, while the commercial part is pretty much limited in their design. They have strict lines, they have like squares everywhere, and they have the whole information very, very structured. If you go ahead and Google this page that I have listed here, you will see that designs there are completely different, because on the residential part, we can see lots of happy family images, lots of perfect home images that are definitely Pinterest worthy, but on the commercial part, they have very structured, very intuitive, and very highlighted sort of information. And this all comes because of the differences of their buyer personas and differences that the approaches they have to those two types of their targets, residential and commercial. If we have some sort of questions about that part, I'll give you one moment to jump in, or I will head to the other parts. Okay, going forward, what we and you need to know about the SEO and when you need to come up with the best and inclusive SEO strategy for your business in HVACR industry. You need to have proper keyword research and distribution file. Here we need to remember we do not target dozens of keywords with one single page. What we do instead is we have different landing pages for different keywords, and then we optimize those landing pages for the keywords they are targeting, working hard to make sure those keywords appear top 3 and generate traffic for us and later generate leads for us. So that's what we need to remember. And when you have that file listed in, when you have that distribution listed in some sort of pivot table in Excel, for example, you know what is the landing page and what is the keyword you want to target at. And then out of that combination, you are able to come up with the best anchor text, the best links, the best internal link. So whenever you have the landing page, which is the base, like what are you optimizing, and the keyword, which is your goal, like where you want that to go. And when you have those two combined, you are able to come up with the most powerful SEO strategies. Second part that is important to mention here is that you need to have content calendar for your blog posts, because you need to know what are the keywords you will be targeting later in order to avoid keyword duplication, keyword cannibalization, and lots of other possible SEO issues that will cost you a lot of time and effort and money later to get fixed. So that's pretty much it about content calendar. You have to work ongoingly on your backlink flow. So backlink is basically a link that somebody provides back to your website. There is a lot of optimization and tricks here that needs to be used, but remember that backlinks have something that is called anchor text, which is basically the text that is the link to them. So you can think of it like an analogy between click here or find here or something like that. But you never want the links coming to your website to be like labeled or titled click here. You want that text to be related to your SEO strategy. Okay? And you have to keep an eye out on your technical issues, on your technical health and content optimization, just to make sure your website is fine, it performs well, it is accessible for search engines and for users as well. And we are wrapping the SEO part, and if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I can only see that we have some new participants, but no questions yet.
Okay. Assuming everything was fine with the SEO part, let's head straight to the PPC. What does the PPC stand for is basically pay-per-click advertising, which pretty much stands for itself, meaning that you pay for every time someone clicks your ads. PPC is mostly used for brand awareness, brand engagement, and inbound traffic. So we can think of it as a tool that is going to be used towards like the whole acquisition and engagement and conversion funnel. So that's one of the fastest to launch D2C campaigns because it doesn't take a lot of technical optimization on business's side. It only takes money. But on the other hand, it has some sort of risks within it, which is the exact same moment you stop spending on your ads, you stop receiving leads. And this is the process and the reason lots of businesses invest in pay-per-click for their immediate goals. And simultaneously, they invest even more in their SEO to get that sort of evergreen content and evergreen flow of users that will be generating them constantly leads and money, not depending on their direct investments, like without some sort of direct dependency from their advertising budgets. What are the main types of ads we have here? And some of them are extremely must have and necessary for HVAC businesses, which is definitely the search. So you have probably seen whenever you type some sort of keywords within Google and you see those small listings that appear and have that small mark ad there, which basically means that this is an ad placed. We have search, display, shopping, video, app, smart campaigns, local. For those providing local HVAC services, these are very much important. And we have discovery ads. Let's take a closer look on each of them. So we have a little discussed the search ads. And what you definitely need to do here as a business owner is that you definitely need to set up your search ads containing your brand name. Why am I saying that this? Because the moment even if you do not pay attention to your competition enough, they are not snoozing and they are not letting you win their deals and their leads. So whatever is your company name, your brand name, make sure to have your Google Ads search campaign set up for those type of keywords, because you need everyone who types that in within the search engine to come across your profile and to convert with you. Because today that's pretty much easy for everyone to set up ad campaigns on any keywords. Like, I'm coming from Andava, but if I lose my common sense and some sort of spirit, I can be targeting some of our competitors' brand name searches, and I can be stealing some sort of their leads. So you just need to take that into account and be aware and be prepared to that. Second point is that you can do your targeting here based on location. You can have your bidding and budget settings set up just the way you are ready to spend or you are not. You have that sort of language targeting abilities, and you have all the tracking, all the analytics provided within the Google Ads itself, or if set up properly in Google Analytics. So make sure to have this covered, not only for your brand name, but some major search terms that are commonly used by your target audience. In the article on ref industry, I have shared some tips on how you can look up for some keywords for your own or even from your competitors. So make sure to have that part covered there, and reach out if you have any questions. Now let's move forward. One thing I wanted to mention you here, I guess I pretty much covered it all. Okay. The second part is the display ads. You can think of it as the billboard advertising of the internet. So that pretty much covers the function these ads do. This is pretty much easy to use because in most of the cases, you can just have 2 dimensions of your images, some samples or some variations for keywords, for headlines and descriptions, and the system itself will generate the ad copy for you And then later the system will be using the best match, like the best combination of image, text, and call to action, will generate like the best performing ad copy and use that for you. Something to remember here is that pricing here is being managed with CPC, which is cost per click, cost per 1,000 impressions or CPM, or even cost per acquisition or CPA. So that's pretty much it here that you should remember. And remember that you can set up any type of advertising you want to those who have visited your website but never like converted or never completed that specific action you wanted them to. Let's move on, and here we have shopping actions and shopping ads. This is basically the place where you can get your physical products promoted. And by the time we are speaking right now, this is not supposed to be only paid advertising, but if you have set up your store and you have proper product feed set up and you manage to do all those Google and product feed and website integrations properly, you can get your products promoted and showcased even for free. Before this, this option was just for paid advertising only, but right now, as of this moment, you can get your products listed and promoted within Google Shopping, both for free and on paid basis. Still, paid advertising gets some sort of spotlight there and they get some top positions, but I have seen some great results for free listings as well. These type of ads are great for retailers and not only for small products, but for bigger ones as well. One thing to remember here is that you can set up your targets and your campaigns to be optimized based on the ROAS you want to be targeting, which is ROAS is the return on ad spend. So you can set up the target return on ad spend you want, and the system will be running ads on those conditions to get that target ROAS you have set up. Let's take an example. If I'm running like sunglasses business and I want to have ROAS of 7 on my ads, I set up the campaign type to target ROAS, set up that to be 7, and then I let the system work itself and get the job done. That's pretty much it about shopping ads, and here we can see how those are visible on the search tab. Some best practices here and things not to follow is that go long tail keywords and never ever neglect them, because those who type long tail keywords, like if you don't know what it is, long tail keyword is basically any type of search term combination containing more than 2 or 3 words. So you can see no significant volumes there, but still having them covered will bring additional value for you if those, of course, are within the context of your business or within your buyer persona's behavior. Make sure to pay proper attention to negative keywords, to exclude placements and audiences and geos, because the moment you do not do that, it means that your ads are being visible to everyone who is even out of your target. So you're basically wasting your money and your resources. You have to be right, and for the most businesses and even in HVACR industry, what I usually suggest is to have the campaign goal to set up to maximize clicks, which basically lets you have boosted coverage, and then you change it to target CPA, which is target cost per acquisition, which helps you working with the audience and narrowing them down based on the costs you have prepared for this campaign. You can also use dynamic keyword insertions, which is basically using placeholders. Like you just give the variable name and then system itself takes the variables, places them within your ad copies, and shows them to the audience. So just to sum up, the PPC section here is that you need to have your branded campaign set up for sure. You need to have your retargeting set up for sure. You need to set up some search campaigns for some terms that you can look up for from your own website's performance or from your competitors' website's performance. And we have some details on that within the article on Ref Industry. And do not avoid long tail keywords, pay proper attention to negative keywords, placement, and audiences, and make sure you have your bidding campaign set right and you are flexible and creative enough to use dynamic keyword insertions. If we have questions, you have 10 seconds to jump in.
That's rather quick.
Okay, the time is up. I guess we have no volunteers here, and okay, let's head to the social media marketing. And what we need to know here is that an enormous amount of world's population uses social media accounts. They spend about 2 hours and 22 minutes on their social media platforms, and social media is one of the most influential D2C communication methods, and used almost across the whole funnel for brand awareness, engagement, social advertisers, and inbound traffic. Here we have some examples of what social media ads can look like and what are the main goals they are satisfying. So we have example for brand awareness, which is like we only have video and text on it, and we have no further call to action. We have nothing else to do. We just have to see, enjoy the aesthetics, and remember that feeling, and so that later we could combine that feeling with the brand. Okay. Another thing here is that we have brand engagement. So these are the ads that usually have CTAs with them. What is a CTA? CTA is call to action. So these are the ads containing some sort of financial bonus or I know, anything that will encourage your target audience and buyer persona to get in touch and engage with your own business with you. So like in this example, you can see that they are offering some, I guess, $25 discount or something like that. Then comes the social advertising, and then we have inbound traffic, which is actually the ad copy that leads to their website. So what you can do here is to have ad and then to drive traffic to your website and then drive them through your website funnel later and make sure to convert them with your email marketing or chatbot or whatever else you're using on your website. Here is one thing I want to, yeah, I guess I'll show it later. There was one thing I wanted to show you here, and we'll jump to that later. In order to come up with your perfect and personalized strategy for your both commercial and residential HVACR business, you need to define the social channels that you're going to be using. So that's again based on your buyer persona. You need to create a content and calendar, and you have to have your ad copies all listed, all set up, so that you could go through the messaging, go through the feelings, go through the values that are uncovering and sharing with your audience later. You can and you have to be able to get your target defined technically. Think of it as analogy like this. If we say we want to target everyone working in specific company, interested in specific things, or so on, or going forward, that is not a type of target you are ever able to implement hands-on experience in real life, because there is no such type of network that allows you to target people by their occupation and by their interest at the same time. So you have to have separate targets for separate networks, because that's what really makes sense and difference, because you, for specific networks, you have specific targeting options. For LinkedIn, you have all the access to users, companies, skills, and interests in terms of professionals. And for like Google, for example, you can target them by the websites they browse, by the interests they have, by I don't know, countries they have recently visited, and so on and so forth. So you have to be conscious about the networks you use, and you have to be conscious about your target, and to have that target like defined technically. And then you have to make sure that the whole sequence of tracking and conversions is working properly without any interruptions, without any issues, just to make sure you are in constant touch with your target audience, and just to make sure their experience with your business is the best possible. Okay. Speaking of LinkedIn, I wanted to show some examples of campaigns that you can run there. First is like increase brand awareness, and the second part is re-engage existing with visitors. You can increase your brand awareness not only by lead generation ads or by ads that contain some sort of call to actions, which is here you can see at the bottom right, the learn more buttons. You are not supposed to do that if you want to just increase your brand awareness. You can just have your video or ads or image ads out there running, just to provide your target audience with the idea that you are existing and you are somewhere there. So whenever they need your services, they will come and land with you. Which is the most beneficial for most businesses here is that you need to have those re-engaging or retargeting ads for your visitors. What is, you set up LinkedIn's conversion tracking code on your website. LinkedIn tracks your website visitors, identifies them with its database, and is able to retarget them on LinkedIn with the ads you have set up. So if I visited that food catering services website, but I never converted with them, or I never completed the action they want me really to, that would be very smart of them to have those campaigns set up to retarget me. And their retargeting advertising banner would be better with something like, don't you regret not buying from us? Or are you still interested in buying from us? So something that will resonate with your target audience's feelings, probably. One good thing that is recently launched by Facebook is that now you can run lead generation ads on Facebook and they can convert on Facebook, which is basically you run advertising and you are able to get your leads information from Facebook and get back to them later. So it doesn't take some sort of click chain for your visitors to click your ad and click your contact us button on the website or something like that. So now you can just have your forms built in on Facebook advertising and you can get your leads from Facebook directly. This part also integrates with some email marketing and CRM stuff. So you can easily like get the most out of it. And we have covered the social media part, and I'm ready to answer your questions if we have any.
We have a question.
Okay.
So what is the easiest and most economical way to start building a business reputation? Please recommend the first steps to do.
Okay. First step is, of course, having your website. that is not supposed to be something very complex and very different to handle. You can go with just WordPress, like one-page website, where the messaging and the context of the page should be very correct to uncover your business and to resonate with those you want to be reading that and you want to be converting with your business. Second step here, for the global reputation, is to have your listings or your accounts set up on all the listing platforms that are related to your business. If you are providing residential HVAC services or something that is more of a local type of business, you can go ahead with Google My Business. I mean, you have to go ahead and have your Google My Business profile listed there, because those who will be searching for your service types from your local area will definitely see your listing on the top, and that's completely different from your website. That's two different types of listing that show up on Google search. So assuming you have your website for residential and commercial services, you have your Google My Business set up. The next step for you is to have your business listed on business listing accounts, on business listing websites, those that have enough traffic and enough user base for you to spend some resources on them. I have a couple of slides later on that topic, so I will get back to that. And after you have your website, your Google My Business account, your business listings, you head to the socials creation and you have to at least have them. You're not supposed to be very, very active on any of them, but you have to have them. People have to be able to see that your reviews are available, that your business is breathing and is up to date, so you are not basically closed. And this is the point when you have go cross-channel, and you have to have Facebook's pixel on your website to be able to run retargeting ads. You have to have your Google ads for your brand name at least, and then have all the tracking to be able to run another ads. So that's probably, I went too far with those complexity, but keeping things simple, the most budget-friendly way is to have your website, then business listings, and GMB for sure, having your social set up, and have some sort of budget for your branded searches. If you have, if you are very short on budget, if you have some more budget and you have some more to tell to the market, you can always go ahead with press releases. Make sure you have that buzz off about your business and to get some sort of movement and interest towards that. And you can always use your personal brand on socials to drive traffic to your business and increase your awareness and reputation. I hope that covers the question, but if not, I guess that's going to be the only question for today, and you will win the one-on-one consultation.
I think that covers it greatly.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm waiting for more.
Do we have any questions?
No, not yet.
Okay, then I'm going forward. And here is the part about the reviews and review and reputation management platforms. We all know Yelp, and we all, I assumed, know Google My Business profiles. So these are the primary places users go to share, firstly, their negative feedback, and only then their positive feedback. So when it comes to feedback and reviews, we have to remember that one person is more likely to share their bad experience on their socials with hundreds of followers, possibly, than to share their either normal or close to normal experience. So you either have to be extremely bad so that they covered you on their socials, or you have to exceed all of their expectations so that they have covered you on their socials and provided you with some spotlight there. So no one really covers the normie kind of thing. I will put aside the Yelp part, and I can provide some more context and some more details on GMB if that's going to be some sort of interesting. But as of now, I have here, we can see 3 major review management and feedback management platforms that are easy to use and easy to set up as a business, both for your socials, both on your website. So, and you don't have to be asking for your visitors for reviews manually. With Trustpilot or with Software Suggest, what you do is that you just buy their monthly subscription and do the settings like when you want to email your customers after the purchase, like how many hours or days later then they have converted with you. And the system itself generates the email, sends the email out, gets their response, places the response on your Trustpilot page, and you can have that widget placed on your website showcasing how many reviews you have and what is your like average star count. So these are 3 main ones aside from Yelp and Google My Business that are easy to use, integrate, and are repetitive enough for you to waste your time on, for you to spend your time on. If you are in the field for providing some sort of SaaS services, or probably you are doing an innovation or startup for HVACR, which is, I guess, a very not competitive, but a very challenging sphere. You can always go with those that I mentioned previously, and you can use Capterra as well for your software. If you already have the product launched, you can use Product Hunt. So all those major networks that provide you with the possibility to launch your product, to set up, to submit your product and get the feedback, they all work, not only in terms of reputation, but also in terms of SEO, because they provide you with links in some cases. But there is some sort of thing that has got called NAP policy. So this is basically when your name, address, and phone of your business is matches with another place. Like when the name, address, and phone of your business listed on your website matches with name, address, and phone on another website, that counts some sort of as a link, as a reputation signal for search engines to consider your website a better source or resource for those types of keywords you are trying to optimize for. So what is important here, working with review and management platforms, is that you have to pay proper attention to all types of reviews, and even more to those that are bad. You never neglect them. You never look for conflicts or for some sort of more uncomfortable situations. You try to be gentle, you try to be considerate, you try to be problem solving and be thankful for them bringing the issue up. So we always want to answer the reviews, be that good or bad. Those reviews should be, the reviews should be personalized, they should be polite and informed, and content should be very well thought of. And that's pretty much it for the feedback and reviews from technical part and from management and kind of approach part. Do we have any questions?
We're waiting for any questions.
Yep.
About the whole webinar.
Yes. Okay. Either everything was very clear or nothing was clear at all.
It's one of those, yeah.
Okay. In that case, oh, is that a question?
No, unfortunately, no.
Okay, so we only have, is that a question?
Yeah, do we get the slides afterwards?
I guess Vanessa, you and Sergey decide if you, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to get the slides, you can write your email address or you can write us. You
Yes,
can contact us.
reach out to any of us. You can see my email here.
Oh yeah, Sergey is helping me. So he said we will share the webinar recording. So you will be able to rewatch.
Okay. Another thing is that I would be very glad to connect and network with you and get to know you better. So feel free to, what is that? Vanessa, can you please drop that text to the chat, or I will.
Which one?
Oh, with my LinkedIn and email.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll see.
So we have some feedback and then I will drop in your. Perfect, thank you for a great webinar. You guys did a good job explaining. We will do that, thank you.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed this, even though the questions were not that much numerous. But I hope I managed to cover some important questions for you. If I didn't during this webinar, feel free to reach out by that email, and I'll be happy to provide you with any type of answers to any of your questions you will be having.
Yeah, so I think we need to remind that if you have any questions left and if you want a customized website review, please write us onto any of these emails I will drop in the chat.
Yeah, just reach out. We'll do our best helping you and helping your digital reputation and presence to scale.
So 1 second, I'm just dropping it into the chat. That should be it.
Okay. It was nice meeting you all, and I wish you all a very good weekend.
Thank you very much. Oh, somebody says we can't see the emails. I'll send them in again. 1 second. By the way, could you please check if I've written your email correctly?
Let me check. Yep, that's it.
Great. So please don't hesitate to contact.
We are glad to help.
So I think we can finish, it seems.
Yep, everybody's free to leave.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing your experience.
It was my pleasure.
Everyone is writing thank you, goodbye.
Thank you too.
Yeah, so have a great evening.
Have a great day, guys.